Alright, guys. Ooh. That fat roll, man. I'm gonna make a quick, reaction. I'm still a little under the weather, but I think I'm good. I think the coughing's under control enough for me to do like a 10-minute recording. I want to talk about Billy's last post. The one he linked about the secret. What was it? The secret. I don't remember the exact name of it. I watched like maybe 10 minutes of it. The secret wealth or something like that. The hidden traits of wealthy people, right? Whether it be, just to give a quick example, somebody who maybe is driving a 5-year-old car that's paid off already and all that. That's how they keep their money. They don't put their money into new cars, and they understand that. I forget the exact word, but cars depreciate in value basically the moment they leave the lot. So the minute you buy a car, it starts depreciating in value. A car is not an asset, in other words, and that should really be taught in school. Like, cars are not assets. All right? It's not something you can resell for a profit. But anyway, just to get to the point of what I want to say, I left a comment where I said something along the lines of, it's nice of Billy to let the YouTube algorithm borrow his mind cloud, right? And that's a callback to a discussion Kirk and I were having, and I think it was might have been our first podcast together a few months back, or about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, back in July, I think. But we talked about how like the space, right? The space and the data involved when it comes to these videos, right? These people who make like ultra 4K, 8K videos that are just impossible, like 100 gig video, easily 100 gigabyte videos uploaded onto YouTube in 8K, right? So you multiply that, one person doing that, by potentially thousands, hundreds of thousands, and that's a lot of data, right? That's a lot of storage. And there's this idea in the tech world where you back up 3 times or whatever, I forget the exact name, where you back up your data 3 times. It'll be a horrible looking video. You back up your data at least 3 times, right? So you triple that. 100 gigabyte file turns into a 300 gigabyte file on Google's end, right? We're talking about Google's storage. So the impossibility of that, it's an impossibility. Like there's no amount of storage on the planet that could keep up a website like YouTube or Google or anything. So me and Kirk were talking about this idea that these videos that we watch, that we get recommended, probably don't even exist in the physical, right? They exist in some kind of weird ether where it's like a mind proxy experience, where like Billy manifested that video. That video probably didn't even exist until Billy found it, and by proxy he shares it in a community post, right? And where we view it as reality generator beings, and then there's a handshake, a metaphysical handshake involved, and now it exists. Maybe it exists in reality now, or maybe it exists in the physical, but probably not even then, because it's probably still what did I call it, a mind cloud experience, meaning this video, the person who uploaded that video doesn't exist. Okay, the video doesn't really exist either. It's more of, like I said, it's more in the mind. It's more of a cloud, in the mind cloud kind of ether, in the ether, or whatever you want to consider it. I know it's kind of weird. It's kind of really hard to phrase it because my vocabulary's a bit limited. But I think you get the point where it's like we watch these videos, and maybe even this other guy, that one dude who was smoking a cigarette on his video, calling himself a loser and all that, and it just blows up, right? Gets almost 1 million views, gets 500,000 views, 500,000 views in a few weeks, and then Billy finds this other dude who happens to be live streaming, and the guy that he's subbed to just happens to be talking about this other guy's video. It's like, I don't know. I'm gonna go over that, but you get my point. Where it's like the stuff that Billy's being recommended and the stuff I'm being recommended, right? And we're all in it together in a way, because we're the reality benders, we're the reality generator beings, the RGBs. So it's like these videos become kind of bud into reality, right? They bud and they start producing fruit in reality. And the last video I just recommended, well, the last video I just posted on a community post, where I talk about how I'm glad that somebody else is talking about this Brady Bunch fallacy, which is the fallacy of you can take two families, right? You can take a broken family and stitch it together, and that doesn't fucking work, okay? The children get traumatized, and in the video, the lady makes a point where it's like the Generation X was the first generation to kind of go through this Brady Bunch fallacy, and she referred to it as a resilience, child resilience or something like that. It's like, let's give an example of a single mom, right? It's like, oh, my kids are resilient. They can handle not having a father, or they can handle me fucking around, or them being a latchkey kid. My children can handle coming home and they find the key under the rock and just go inside and fend for themselves for a few hours, while I go around and have a job, or fuck around, or sleep with multiple guys, or have divorces and different husbands. They're basically saying that this lady was saying that Gen X is the first generation to experience that. And yep, I agree 100%. Like, Generation X was the first generation for this testing ground to be kind of tested on. The test they laid out, that they were the first victims, right, of this latchkey kid / Brady Bunch fallacy. But that's not the point of this video, okay? What I'm saying is, like, this 5-minute video kind of appears out of nowhere, where this lady, right, a woman is saying this, where she's basically saying the same things I do. And it's like, I didn't get these ideas from other people, okay? This is my shit. Obviously, it's going to be an amalgamation of things I've heard from other people, but based on my own experience, based on my own anecdotal experience, it's like I reword it in such a way where it's like it becomes my idea. It becomes my who's carrying his dog? Come on, man. That's fine. You want to walk your fucking dog in your backpack? Go for it. Anyway, I manifest that shit all the time, I think. This dog nuttery. But anyway. So it's like this lady is talking about this stuff, and this is the same shit I talk about. Like I said, it's an amalgamation of different things that I brought up on my own channel, and the things I talk about in reality, in real life, okay? And I'm not saying these ideas are new or unique, but I'm saying the way I was wording it is what caught my attention, or the way she was wording it caught my attention, because she was kind of wording it the way I do. I don't remember if she mentioned latchkey kids in particular, but she kind of hinted at that latchkey kid idea. And yeah, man, so I'm home now, so I guess I can wrap it up. So yeah, the mind cloud phenomenon, I guess is what I'm going to call it, where we're the creators. We're like, YouTube videos probably don't even exist except for maybe real people like me and Billy and Kirk and Matt McKinley, the people that are in my subscription base that seem to be humans, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I can kind of tell they're real human beings. And even now and then, you don't really fucking know. It's like, does Kirk really exist? Is he just an AI bot? Really fucking sophisticated AI bot? Is Billy just an AI bot? Is any of this shit real? Is it just a solipsistic reality through and through? Am I just the only person on the planet? I don't know, man. It's like a fucking Twilight Zone situation. I finally got an eternity to read my books. Anyway, y'all, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. 9 minutes long. Almost at 9:11. Wow. Anyway, y'all take it easy.